Now we're here.
And okay. Okay, here we go. So, so first of all, big thank you for bringing the collection to USA because that was a lot of questions. And I believe you are the only shop in USA that have them right now. So, for all of those who were asking questions, here it is. It's available. We have all papers, the full collection, and I'm super happy.
Uh, I am so happy. First of all, thank you for being here and helping me do this so you can tell everybody about the collection, the inspiration behind it, the little stories behind it. And we're going to show you the audience the items and the pages. We're going to open it up. Actually, I haven't opened it yet. I was waiting for the reveal. So we're going to see it all together. And you're going to show us some projects that you made with it too?
Yes, yes, I have some projects that I made. I have some projects that were made by my mysterious helper. And
Fantastic.
later on, I think that next week we will have a meeting where we will do some pretty quiz um, with the collection for those who tempted with our today performance will order them and want to have a craft along or playtime.
Okay, I think it's fantastic idea. So I'm going to switch over to the other stream. Let's see here. And
Yay! And we don't. Yeah, now we will. Okay, that should work. Yes, no, no. But I can talk.
so you don't hear me when I only have this on, right?
Yeah, yep. Mm.
Okay. So we'll have three of us here, two of me and one of you.
Okay, so you can still try to press underneath the screen a different arrangement. So your screen with the papers will be the big screen, and we will be just small screens on the side.
Okay.
I will tell you which one to press. I think it's the third one, but I'm not
How
sure.
about that? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
wonderful.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. So I brought in the collection I imported it from Poland. It's made of Poland, from Poland, and by Craft and You Design. And the designer is, as you know, Olga was here with us today. And I have the 12 by 12 paper packs, and I have
Mhm.
the 6 by 6 paper packs, and we have some rice paper and the watercolor and the single sheets, which we'll show. But let's start with the main thing, which is the 12 by 12. And one thing that I've seen that I really liked is on the B side, on the bottom, you have
There is,
little.
yeah, those are on every paper because I think that every single sheet is twice in the set, and on the bottom that stripe that on the front you have the code and the company name and all that
Right.
info that we usually cut off. So to not waste it, there are some sentiments that you can use for
Yeah.
your cards and projects, and that is only on the big pad. In the small pad,
It's not.
the
It's not.
yeah, it's trimmed.
Yeah, but I never saw anything like that, and I really liked it right off the bat when I saw it. I'm like, oh, that's so clever.
Yeah, and I have to give credit to Belinda because she's the one who was helping me with the sentiments because I terribly struggle with first of all coming up with the sentiments,
Yes.
finding the proper one. Second of all, spelling.
I know. Well, it's a really awesome collaboration, and I very much like this idea. So, to get over some technical things here, the paper that the uh, pack is with is 250 grams, which means it's very, very heavy, thick paper, very sturdy. See, you can hear it. And us scrapbookers, we like heavy paper, and also for mixed media, it's very good because it's not flimsy. It'll hold because it's very heavy. So very good quality paper.
I wanted the weight to be higher. I wanted 300 GSM because I'm mixed media person and I want my paper to, be able to
Hmm.
stay straight. But we had a big no-no from whole scrapbooking and card making part of the team because they were like, no, it's too heavy when I put it in my album and I will layer more than 2 layers. It will add too much thickness to my page.
Well, as somebody who does both mixed media and scrapbooking, 250 is pretty good. It's very, very good. It's, I don't think I've seen anything more than that, but
And
it's.
small one have the same weight that the big
Mhm.
one. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the cover. It comes in a loose pack, not in a pad. So they're not attached here, which is another thing I like. You don't have to tear it off. Sometimes if you have a pad that is attached and you go to tear it, you lose a little bit of the edge. But when you have loose pages, it comes out nice and straight, and
I always
that's perfect.
struggle with that. I will always, while I'm removing the paper from the pad, I would probably make a tear in the paper,
Yeah,
or I will have that glue hanging out forever from the edge of my composition.
right. So yeah, so this is very good to just have it in package, and it comes already pre-packed from the factory with a plastic sheet. So each pack contains 12 sheets, and it's six designs, which means six. You're gonna get two of each page. And of course, they're double sided. So you have one design in the back and one design in the front. And this way you don't have to choose which one you want to use. You have one of each. So this is
Exactly.
the front and the back of the first page.
That
And
is one of my favorite pages, to be fair.
I love this little bird. It's really, really cute. And I want you to see the colors. So the colors are grungy, but yet the design is very soft and romantic. So I don't know how you achieved them both in one theme, but you managed to do that so beautifully, Olga. To have a.
Basically, we did that collection. It took a very long time to get it right because
Mhm.
my dream collection that I sent as the first draft came back with the feedback like there are not enough focal points. Those are only backgrounds. And I was like, yeah, but I like backgrounds. I like only backgrounds. I love it.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, but album makers and scrapbookers like to have some arrangement on the page. So let's add something. And it would be great if you would feminize the papers a little bit because they seem to be too masculine. So I thought that that feminine touch would be, of course, pink. So the pink happens in the collection. There is a lot of purple just because it's my favorite color. And
Yes.
I used feminine motifs to, warm up a little bit grunge harsh collections. So we have
Yes.
trees, blooms, birdies, stuff that will be very versatile, not necessarily girly. So you can still use it for less girly projects.
It's not girly, but it is soft. It is still, you don't have it in your face grunge. It's very soft grunge, which I personally really like. The over
And
here, the front page has a little bit of the blue motif there, so you can mix it with a little blue, and you have, um, if you visually try to cut it to four pieces, you have four 6x6 that you can use from it. One,
I was
two, three,
I
four.
was really trying to do it like if you like to work on the small format, cut out from the big page. That
Right.
if you cut it in half, you will not possibly go through any of the main images. So
Yes.
you will not have the stuff that are just hanging on the edge.
That is one thing that you as a designer really paid attention to, is keeping in mind the sizes that somebody who might want to cut the paper, that they're not going to lose those images, and it's very clever. You can see that right away over here.
For
um,
most of the time, I actually, since I attended Bella's classes about painting, it was a
mhm.
painting class, but she also talked a lot about composition and about three quarters rule. And I'm trying to really strictly go with that rule. It doesn't matter if I'm doing the project, the painting, or the design. I'm trying to keep that rule because it always makes everything visually fit really
Easy.
nicely.
That's true. Okay, well, we're going to see the second page now.
Ooh,
And
mystery manner.
you have Fritz Mahler.
This
This is
one
so cool.
With this one, there is a house, and the whole design was about that weird house that I really liked because it looked a little bit creepy, a creepy manner, but it's still, light colors, and it can be used as the shabby chic motif,
Mhm.
and that frame that you can see on the paper, it appears through all the pages. I absolutely love that frame. It's made from one of the pictures that I took when I was vintage shopping with Belinda.
Ah, you use items from your real life, and I
Yep.
think people do appreciate that, because it comes through in the collection. You're like, did you draw it? Did you take a picture of it? Where did it come from? So now when you use this paper, you know that this frame actually exists, and it spoke to the designer, in a certain way. And
All the things that you have here in the background, they are either from scans, from pictures. I often use the stock images, but I always transform them. So it's not,
yes.
um even if somebody else will purchase the same set of graphics or elements,
Hmm.
it's impossible to have too much similarities. Sometimes you see that with the crafty companies that,
Right.
apparently there was a sale on the stock website because everyone have the same motifs.
Yes. And those
Uh,
those stock images are not, for the audience that are not aware what stock images are. Well, graphic artists can't just use images out of the internet. You can't download images as you wish and transform them. You have to get images with a license. And Adobe stock, or other companies that have stock images, sell the licenses to graphic artists, and they are not
exactly.
cheap. And they are not cheap by any means, because if you're a company and you use it to do mass production, Um,
Oh, then the prices depends on quantities
yes,
of the final design that will be
right.
printed. That's also the reason why I sourced a lot of stuff from either Belinda's pictures. She
Yeah,
loves to take the pictures. When she was with you with Lady B, she was talking about her trip around the city when she's doing the pictures, and she kindly allow me to use her stock. So I always
yeah,
transform them, but yeah, that expands my library a
yeah.
lot.
Exactly. So this way, we share as artists images. If you draw something that I want, or I draw something that you want, then we own our own images, and we can do what we want with that. So it's a good
Exactly.
mix of images that you created plus stock images, and you put it together in a collection.
This paper that you're holding right now, I also really like it. I like the flowers that are in the background, those dried up flowers, and it's very autumny pale.
Right. I'll put it up close so that everybody can see it.
Yeah, we have the roses, and those are like for girly girls, and we
Mhm.
have some dead flowers, because in theory they are dead, but from some time I found that those dried flowers uh, have something have something speaking to me. I have no idea why. It brings me back the memories from the childhood when you were collecting
Yes,
different plants in your book. You squeeze
yes.
them, and then you could find some treasures
Mhm.
when you were reading the book.
Yeah,
So
it evokes some kind of an emotion to you. And I have, for me, it's daisies, because as a little child, my grandmother had daisies in the backyard, and I remember as a child, I was 4 or 5 years old. I used to collect not just the flowers, but the bugs on the flowers. So, and you have the same thing with this kind of flower, and it's beautiful that you used it here. And you're right, the colors are gorgeous for fall, and they almost look translucent.
but it happens to the flower when you dry it, and it's a light color, and some plants do it more than others, that they start to look really transparent, and you can
Yeah,
almost see through.
yeah,
I have a huge plan to put those plants in the resin on some point, to seal them forever uh, in that transparent state, because they are very, very fragile and delicate.
yeah. They look like it, and you managed to really bring that quality of them through in the drawing, because it's very difficult to come up with a
It
drawing
falls
that
off from
looks.
the picture, to be fair. I don't draw too much. I trace a lot, but I'm not able to draw stuff.
Yeah.
I have a husband for it, like all the drawings with math.
Well, you're the designer. You don't have to be the artist that draws them. But as a designer, that's the choice that you made, which comes through very beautifully. So this is the front of the page, and this is the B side of the page. Again, you can cut it out and use it with a 6x6, 8x8, and it's beautiful. The third
Ooh,
page.
second favorite.
Okay, let's see the third one.
I really like this one. It have purple flowers in the teapot in the corner, and I really, really, really like those flowers. I couldn't fit them in any way except that one page where they appear behind the that ephemera bit, and I really, really like them. And I like the fact that the page is empty, but it's not empty. There is some print on it, but you have a whole space to arrange however you like.
Right. So this is actually a really good page for scrapbooker if you want to do a layout, because you have two areas here to put your photos, and you can do or you can do one big one here. It's a beautiful page for a layout. Absolutely stunning. And I like the egg motif that keeps coming back.
Egg is together with the bird because
Mhm.
when I came up with the name, because the name I invented the name before I finished all the designs, and when that blooming appears, I thought that eggs will be really cool with because they are symbol of rebirth like the flowers. So that's how we get to the blooming part. It's either some kind of blossom that blooms, so flower, or a life that blooms. So an egg is a great symbol.
It really is. It really
And
is.
from what I remember, yeah, I love the both sides. The other side is also quite neutral and backgroundy.
Hmm.
Yeah, with the pages from notebook, a lot of um, handwriting.
Hmm.
Handwriting is from one of the diaries that I purchased on the vintage market, and it's very old.
This
I would
is
say
an
quite
actual handwriting of this
yes.
you wrote in a notebook. It's an
Yeah, I
actual.
will bring the notebook. So give me a second. You can show the paper. I will go and look for the notebook to show you the original.
Okay, you see. So the colors that you see here are very brownish and like a vintage brown. It's not a brown brown. It's all the vintage brown, and it's very dark gray. So it goes very well together. Very neutral, warm colors.
Okay,
And you
I
have
found
sort
it.
of like a notebook here. There's a little lace I see here coming through, just a teeny bit there.
The background have a lot of if you look up close, there is a rust texture that will be peeking through because it's one of my favorite motifs. There will be a lacy tattered element. On some areas, you might spot darker stamps or lettering or different textures that will come out from the background. You can focus on them, but you can also use them just as the background.
Right.
So it gives more options.
So these are the two sides of the sheet again. And if you're me, you're already looking at it and thinking about ideas. And one of the things I love about this page is the transformation from dark to light. So you have the dark here on the edge, and it goes to almost light that comes out of you. It's like, I don't know how to say it, but it's very
Most
light
of them
here.
will have at least one, if not at least two or all edges a little bit darkened up because for most of the time I would go and distress all my edges.
Hmm.
So when I'm doing a design, I'm already like, I can cut a half of my hard crafting work by having the edges darkened already.
Yes, it's beautiful, beautiful page. Now, this is my favorite page.
The windows.
This is my favorite page. This is oozing color, and the combination you have here of the color is just so
That
beautiful.
is that is one of the pages that took me the most of the time. That's why the motif of those windows will appear a couple times. They are Frankenstein. I call it like that when I assemble an image from couple different images.
Hmm.
The windows themselves, they are Italian windows. One of the Italian photographers is sharing his pictures to use for other artists, for graphic designers, for people who do photo manipulation,
Uh-huh.
etc. He makes a lot of neutral pictures of the either windows, doors, walls, so you can use it as the mock-up for your work. And
Uh-huh.
he's sharing them, but they were really dark and really sad. So I combined it with the picture that I made next to Belinda's house. We went for the trip one day, and we were doing making the pictures of the flowers.
Yeah.
So I made the picture of that purple flowers, and I decided that I will combine them two together, and some rusty wool. And from
Mhm.
rusty wool, I pulled off as much as I could. So then we have that rusty yellowish tint underneath the windows that
Yeah.
is dripping.
It's almost look like gold. Almost looks like it's gold. And again, the way that you combine the color and added bright lights here, it just like the light is coming through the windows here. It's
Those are all my favorite colors together. I love purple, and there is a lot of purple. I love that, sunny yellow or almost orangey yellow,
yeah,
like ochre shade. And I like browns. So with combination of those three colors, you get everything else.
yeah. So I want to stop for a minute and say hello to all of our members who are watching. And I can see Nunika here. Hi, Nunu. And Micah and Artie Sam.
Oh, thank you. I'm thinking the
She said
color.
she needs the window. I don't know how we can send you just the window, but I can definitely send you the collection. And I'm so happy to be able to carry it here for you, for anybody in the US. And if you're not in the US and you can't get it where you are, please let me know. I will export it over to you. I can send anywhere in the world. Okay, so just let me know.
And
uh,
I think that they are easily available in Poland, in some European countries, but it might be harder if you live over the seas. And I'm sure that Australians that were waiting for that collection to arrive in Australia will have better shipping from Tama than from any Polish company.
Yeah, but if you don't know where to get it, let me know. I will get you in touch with the company or with Olga, and we will find a way for you to get it. Okay. Hi, Deborah. I see you on Facebook. I finally managed to see the comments on Facebook. And Deborah Hanson is here. She always follows our lives. I
Oh,
appreciate it very much.
and see, I see also Jess asking if there are any embellishments or just the paper. I think that we don't have embellishments. There
Right.
were dies of the collection, and I'm not sure if Tamar had them or not.
Um, embellishment. We have the single pages that you have to cut out, which I'll show, and
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple of dies.
And
I
Belinda says that she's here too.
Hi, Belinda. Thank you so much. Okay, so shall we turn the page over? I don't really want to turn it over. I love this one. This is the B side.
And that is one of the original pages that I submitted with the collection. I didn't change a lot in that design. They all looked like that. They were like very neutrals, very
Yeah.
toned down, very much not so much happening on the paper except textures, rust, and dirt. I know that it doesn't sound nice when I say dirt, but
No, you
you know,
mean you mean like the color, the brownish color
exactly
that you get when you have something very old.
that grunginess, because
Grunginess.
all when we say that things
That
are grungy, basically we mean that they look dirty.
they're dirty, yeah, and old and distressed. Yes.
Aline is asking when we can order this from Tamar.
You can go ahead and order right now. Let me see if I can share how to do it. Uh,
Uh, I'm pretty sure you can. If you will put the link in Studio, it will appear really nicely on the chat. Like clickable version.
let me do share screen and okay. Let me see tab.
But we still see the papers. We don't see the
Okay.
screen picture.
So if you go to the website, it is creative-treasures.com.
Yes.
That's my website. And you click on supplies. You'll see here coming soon Craft and You, which I'm
Mhm.
ordering several collections from them, but right now I'm showing only yours, and I only have yours available. So it is going to be
Uh,
under Craft and
yeah,
You.
but guys, from what I know, Tamar ordered a couple other collections from the company. They will all have the same quality of the paper. The
Yes.
papers are nice and thick. The dies are cutting like a dream.
Mhm.
There are also watercolor papers. We will go to that and. Collections.
Right.
Of course, your the choice of your collection will be up to your personal preference, but the quality will be consistent
Be
through all the
consistent.
collections.
Yes. So right now I have a couple of boxes that are still in transit. They're still in customs, but I'll have it here within a few days. But the entire Blooming Grunge collection is here, and you can see the prices for the 12 by 12. It is $12.50, and for the 6 by 6, it's $8.95. And I
But
have the
this
single
has
sheet.
a lot of designs. It's a really thick. It's a really thick pad, and here are the embellishments that you have
Mhm.
to cut out on your own. We will show them up close, but when Tamar is scrolling on her screen, you could see
Yeah.
the loose stalk as the separate piece of paper.
Oops, I sorry,
Woohoo!
I did the wrong one.
Oops, I did it again. But while we have all of us on the screen, I brought that journal so you can see that the first entry is in a and that journal belonged to someone who had a ton of friends that left a beautiful notes in that notebook. It's all written by hand, different handwritings. Some of them are in German, so I have no idea what it means. I hope that when I meet with Christiana later on this month, I can take it with me and she can translate some of them for me, because it's not only the problem with German, it's also the problem with the fact that it's old handwriting,
Uh,
from
on the
over
script.
100 years ago. So people wrote back then in very different way. They practice their handwriting, and there is a ton of those entries.
Wow. That is
Um,
such a treasure.
It is a treasure. It's so old that some pages are falling off. I also did a crime of ripping some of the pages and sending them to my friends so they can use originals in
Mhm.
their collages, because I scanned the whole book basically. So
Wow.
now I have the resource to use. And around 58, it started to appear some entries in English. We had a really cool time with Bella when we were going through it and we were reading those entries. So in 1900,
Hmm.
it ends, and the half of the notebook is just empty.
Frau Lina is saying it's all German. It makes it really hard to read. It's very nice, but it takes me a while to decipher it.
But no worries, Christiana. I will bring it with me for meetings, so maybe you will decipher them. But I think that most of them would be like, to memorize the meetings with people.
Yes.
Some of them appears through the years. They repeat because you can recognize the signatures. So some of them repeat, but some of them are individual entries. And I still have more than half of the book empty. And maybe one day I will pick up the courage to take it with me and to continue that story with my own, entries.
Yes. It's beautiful. And look at the outside of it too. It's
The
gorgeous.
outside cover is very nice as well. I believe that it's leather. It's already falling apart in some
Mhm.
areas, so I will probably have to restore the cover. As much as I'm up for destroying old books or old albums, this one already have personal meaning to me, so I don't think that I will destroy it, but I will try to restore the bag.
Nuno is saying that maybe it's a guest book.
It's not a guest book from the hotel because the English notes, I cannot find it right now, but English notes, the
Mhm.
ones that are in English, we deciphered without any issues. Though it's a handwriting, with English, I'm familiar enough to find it.
Mhm.
And they were like, "Oh, it was amazing to see you back. I cannot wait till we meet again in January," or something like that. So it's not hotel guest book, but I had it when I was a little kid. You had the book, and all your friends were leaving the entries for you to keep. And my grandma have something like that at the end of the school when they graduated.
Mhm.
Everyone was hanging in the little cards for all the friends to have some kind of souvenir. Right now we are making selfie, but like 200 years ago, people didn't have that option, so they were doing a handwritten note.
Yeah. Sam is saying that they have a tradition of having a guest book at weddings. Yeah, we have the same thing here. And I think it's a very nice keepsake, when maybe 200 years from now somebody will see our books and make a scrapbooking design out of it, like, oh, look at that.
No, I'm afraid that 200 years from now, nobody will know what the paper was and how to use it because everyone will turn to digital stuff.
Okay, so let's
Yeah, let's continue. Let's continue. Sorry, I just
no,
interrupted.
it's fine. I'm trying to see maybe this one here. Okay.
Yes.
We're good. So this is the story behind the writings. We were just showing you where the original book and that she took to do all the writings that you see in the collection, like that. So it's interesting to see the original thing, right? I think so. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to put this page away. Oh,
Yeah, purple attack.
purple one. Oh my God. Now, this is in your face purple grunge.
Yes,
I
and
think this page is so original.
the only stuff that are not like made or traced by me is a clock.
Hmm.
That is one of the images that I have in my library. I'm not sure if that was the purchased image or did I alter some photography because I have it just in that form like it looks on
Yeah,
the paper. So I don't remember where I got it from. I remember that the lanterns that you can see are from the picture, but I
hmm,
traced them with hands, so they look like they are painted.
they're beautiful.
from my original stains. I just took a plain watercolor paper and I played with color, and of course with my favorite color, that was purple.
And it came out beautiful. I mean, and this is still evokes emotion for me anyway when I see that, because I'm an abstract artist. So when I see an abstract painting, whether it is, with watercolor or whatnot, it always evokes an emotion. And that one does it for me. And I look at this, the picture of this clock reminds me of a clock I had when I was little, you know, with the little bells on here.
I purchased a clock like that yesterday, and I wanted to try because it was original clock that you can
Wind it.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And the guy was like, "Oh, but it's working clock, so why won't I don't know, €5, no one." And he agreed to €1 after all. But to demonstrate me that it's a real clock, he put it into going. So right now in my bedroom, you can hear that tick tock, tick tock.
Oh God. And I think it's amazing that still things like that work today.
It works. It doesn't move the hands, but it makes the sound.
Makes the sound. Works for me. So this is a purple. Again, you can use it to cut out the different images from here, or the composition of it is also so that you can do a layout. If
Yeah,
you
and the lines that you see are tire marks. When you hit the brakes on your car, the tires will leave the mark on the
Right.
ground. So all the lines that are going across the page are pictures of the tire marks.
Oh my goodness.
You would not guess that it's that
You
because
wouldn't
I
miss.
answered the picture, but those
Yeah,
were the tire marks
there,
under
Mark.
entry to the building. Somebody had a crazy night.
This is amazing. The eye of an artist. When you go around, you walk around, you go home, you see tire marks, like, oh, that looks cool. You take a picture and you use it in a scrapbook.
I
Uh,
will blame Belinda for all of that because she's making pictures of everything. And sometimes I'm like, oh, girl, please, why
oh,
you need the picture of that? And then, I see one of the designs and I see
yeah,
that particular picture in use. And I'm like, oh, so I learned that I see something interesting. It doesn't matter if I like it or not. Let's just snap a picture just in case that I will need it someday.
yeah. Master of Craft said that this is her favorite page. And Samantha is saying that she doesn't want to cut any of the pages, that they're too gorgeous.
So then buy just a small pad and cover the whole wall.
Well, that's why you buy more than one pack, so that you don't have to feel bad when you have to cut through the pages, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so this is the purple page, and I have to say, I really am loving the colors on this collection.
I had to really push that page because it seems like it's not fitting the rest of the collection so nicely.
It's
Uh,
fitting perfectly. It's really fitting perfectly. Here, look at this.
but if you think about it, they are all like the collection of very eclectic grungy items. If you like grungy style, probably if you go through your personal collection of stuff that you collected, they will look like that. Some of them might be more orange, some of them might be my blue or pink, but they will all have something in common. They are old collectibles.
Yes. So I think the colors go perfectly great together. I mean, the golden purple is perfect. Then you have that little touches of the turquoise.
Terry says that she wished that you had the stamps. So I did design some stamps with the collection. Tomar don't carry them because they sold out when she was ordering. But I'm pretty sure that, guys, if you will buy all the whole stock of the collection, with the restock, there is a chance that the stamps will happen as well.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that if they would be available, Tamar would grab them because she ordered like the entire line.
Yeah.
So
Whatever they had, I ordered, but I will place an order again because I'm sure this first one will sell out very quickly. I'm very sure of that. So I will keep an eye on it, and then when the next time I'll reorder, I'll ask them if they have the stamps, and I will bring them in.
I will try to push the stamp restock. If they were sold out, then I will try to go from the other end and like tighten the screw. Like, guys, you have to do the restock.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the B side of the purple page, and it looks like you had fun with watercolors here also, and the tire marks is coming back, and you have the um, what did you call them again? I'm sorry.
Lantern.
Pendant, huh?
Yeah, those were lanterns. On
Lantern.
original picture that were hanging from the tree, like the lampions, and I just altered them when I was tracing them on the trace table.
Yeah. So these two really go beautifully together.
I really like to have those. Okay, it will sound weird dangly beads. The things that are like in chandelier. You have things that hang. So
Oh, yeah,
I
the little
think
dangle thingies.
yeah, it would be cool to add them to the collection because there are crazy people like David that fussy cut absolutely every single element, and then they can layer it up.
It's true.
Oh, and we are arriving at the train station.
Okay, so here, what we have here.
We
Okay,
have the most masculine paper of them all. It have all masculine symbols. There are ships. There is a train. There is a clock again. From what I remember, this clock, I unfortunately reversed the face of the clock and I forgot to bring it back. But I don't think it's very much noticeable unless I point that the face is reversed. Mm, But
that's
it's
it. I actually like that it's the other side, that I like that. It's kind of quirky.
I just uh, mm, I just didn't sleep that. I remember that the train was on the other side of the paper, and just before I sent them to the printery, I was like, something is wrong. The train is on the wrong side. It doesn't feel good. So I
Yeah.
just flipped it and sent it to print, and I noticed that it's reversed way too late because they were already in the machine, coming out.
But it's a happy accident because when I saw that, I thought that was kind of quirky and fun to have it like that. I
I
I
really
really
like
like that.
I really like that in general the composition of the paper, and I love the deep orange shades that are here.
Mm,
The,
beautiful.
the whole color scheme was just pulled off from Belinda's picture. She sent me a picture of amazing old doors with the metal hinges, and they were very, very old. So the hinges start to bleed rust all over.
Oh God.
And
Mhm.
I just took it to the graphic program. I pulled off all the colors and I based entire paper on that color scheme.
I think that's such a clever way to come up with a color palette. You just pull the color palette from somewhere that you like and dress it on your page. This is
This
very
is, uh,
clever.
this is the thing that I learned from Bella. If you like something, even if you don't have to like everything, but in everything you can find a little bit that you like and just focus on that. And that's how it happened.
Yes.
In the background, you have, of course, the map of the words, a very, very old map. Um, So there are some little elements that shows up. There is a windmill
There's a
between
word right
the
there.
sheets. Oh yeah, you can see it. It's like in the middle section, a long one. Yeah, that's from my picture that I made in Australia. There was that windmill in the middle of nowhere. There is desert, 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 desert. Nothing is happening. Sometimes
Nothing,
some
nothing. All of a
kangaroo.
sudden, there's a windmill.
Yeah, sometimes some kangaroo randomly appears somewhere, and then there is that contraction in the middle of nowhere, and again you have desert, desert, desert. Nothing happens.
I think it's so much fun. You have the windmill structure, you have the ship structure, you have the little ships in the background. I think it's very, very fun.
So
You have the lanterns here again, and the
this
clock. There are a lot of
side,
motifs here.
on the side with the train, it's way too busy for me personally. So the other side is basically the same thing. I just took off all those images because my thought behind it was like, if you also the person that thinks that that page is way too busy, then you can go with the one that is a little bit less busy, but you can still cut out the elements from the other one and they will perfectly match because I love the colors. I love the shape. So this time the ship is quite big and it's just sailing away to the
Oh,
unknown.
and look at the sentiment. Magic is everywhere. Live every day with intention. Push your
all the
boundaries, and
all
make.
the sentiments that I picked for the collection, they were either a self improvement encouragement or really positive statements. I really focused the whole intention of the collection, though it's dirty, grungy, and a little bit darker. If you compare it to other things that Craft and You have, it's very dark because
Mhm.
usually those are, very soft wedding papers with a lot of flowers, very gentle,
Butterflies, rainbows.
really nice, but very soft. So my collection is very dark
Mhm.
in comparison to others. So I thought that those positive sentiments will be a perfect fit because I just started my journey to self discovery when I was doing that collection, and I just use all my favorite quotes.
And it's wonderful if you're doing a journal or something like that. You just take that. You can do a daily gratitude or you know positive reinforcement, and you can. This is a fun project to do with this. You do a little
Actually, I have
little journal and you can stick it on your thing, or when you're doing
to.
APCs and little uh, mixed media project, they're perfect size. They're not too big, so it'll fit on a card, it'll fit on a mixed media, it'll fit on
But
an
if you look at it, here I have, I don't remember where is my ATC because here from my magic helper, I received a couple of inspirations and one of them was ATC. I loved ATC so much that it's probably, yeah, it's on my mood board, but
Mhm.
it came in that little envelope. Envelope is made with Tim Holtz dye. And the sentiment is from the big paper. So it's a tiny card that I can fit
Uh-huh.
on my hand, but the big sentiment still fits beautiful.
Oh, that's stunning. I like to do little projects like that because some days you don't feel like sitting there for 4 or 5 hours and doing something. You have a half hour, 1 hour is like you want to wind down and do something, and you do a little
To be
card and a little
fair,
APC or something. So it's
to be fair, I the only creator that do not have that problem that I know is Belinda. That means that she's just a brilliant, brilliant designer, and she
uh,
should be, she should just bottle it up and sell it because I would buy that creative vibe. When you design the papers, it's a whole process. And I stare at them for such a long time that when they arrive as the actual paper, I'm able to do just couple things with them. And then I have to put them away for some time and don't look at them, don't work with them to be excited about them again. Because every single one of those designs is hours of me
Yeah,
staring at it.
it's true. But don't sell yourself short. You're one of my favorite designers, and you know that you've been my favorite for a year, ever since I saw your project on Stamperia Art Contest. My heart stopped that day, and I said, I want to be her. You have a wonderful style. You have a beautiful brain, and
You know what, Tama? So we can switch
beautiful.
because you have so many qualities as the person, an artist that I would like to have. So we can switch for a couple days just to see
Right?
how it would feel. Okay, you open a little pad. So in the tiny pad, I insist to have a couple items on the cover that you can use as the embellishments because I don't like to force people to buy stuff. I
Right.
want to be appealing to everyone. So the paper, the design should be not overpriced. And when you can afford only a small pad, you still have those extra frames that you can use to embellish your cards, designs. Because with the small pad, I don't think that anyone would make a layout, but
Yes.
still, you can use them. So even with the smallest purchase, you can have the set to start
Yeah.
your makes.
They're very cute. And this is on the cover. That's the bonus page on the cover. And it's really, really cute
And
there.
those ones are also from pictures. Some of them are my pictures, and some of them are Belinda's pictures that she allowed me to use because with both of us doing
The
the
collection.
designs, the collections, I really, really mm, pay attention to the fact that if any of the pictures that we shared she will use, I will just delete it from my library to
Right.
avoid overlapping
Right.
and being too similar because we already have a similar taste
Right.
with uh, uh, with the grungy steampunky stuff. So it's better to not repeat the whole element.
It's very thoughtful, although I don't know how many people will notice that or mind, but it's very thoughtful of you. But it's still very beautiful frames that you have here. So she was talking about the frames here in this picture, which we also have um, this single page that you can get. And I'm going to open it in a minute, but it also has frames and photographs here in the single sheet. But
Well,
right
when
now,
that's
I'm going to just want to
maybe
mention that the 6x6 size is really good size to have if you're a card maker or if you're doing smaller projects. So it's all the same images that you saw in the 12 by 12. And there are 4 sheets each. So it comes in 24 sheets per pack, and there are 4 sheets per design. So it's actually
if you think about it, you get exactly the same amount of the paper, just in the smaller version, because those four pages create a big page if you
right.
stick them together. So yeah. Uh,
Actually, it's yeah, it's double because there are 12 sheets in the pack, in the big pack, and there's 24 here. So it's like it equals to 6 sheets, right?
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, math
It,
sucks.
it,
My math sucks.
and it's really, really, really pretty if you want to use it for um, smaller project, like I said. And I make albums with 6x6. I like the 6x6 for small albums if I'm doing for Christmas or something, because you can do one design and then have 4 separate albums with it. So I think that's really cute. and
It
look at that.
always amazed me. How do you translate everything for the albums? How many pages you will have? Because I made my fair share of albums. Most of them were I just made an album and embellished the cover. Maybe made a setup for the pictures, but nothing like yours. When you open the page and you have transparent one that you pull, and there is a waterfall coming out, and
It's
you
one of the things that I really like doing. I really do.
I know, and you love to sit and make those huge pieces from little squares. And I already see myself losing the patience with them having just a one square on the page.
One of the things that I like mostly when I work is colors. The colors is what speaks to me, and that's my art. You know, I take the I lay if I take this page for example, you know, and I look at this little square and what I can do with it, and it's the whole world. This little piece right there is a whole world for me. You know, so these are the single sheets with the cutouts, and so this one
So,
is number 7. It looks like.
yeah, they have only numbers. I didn't add any names to them. And they supposed to be one page, but the company printed as the two separate sheets. I was quite upset about it, but then again, Bella convinced me that it's not a bad thing at all, because then you don't have to choose if you want to
Right,
have the segments or do you want to have the picture frames.
right. You can just usually people when they make something and they want the cutout sheets, they'll buy everything. So, you know, it's really not expensive as an add-on to a already really good price, I think, on the paper pack. Um, so you just add that and it gives you whole elements, you
But
know, to cut
I
out.
always think
There's
about
whole
what do you
elements there. Yeah.
I always think about stuff that you need to make the whole project. Because for me, making the whole project is purchasing the papers and purchasing the embellishments. Because I like my projects to be very dimensional
Hmm.
and very much, very thick. So for me to make the project, it's not only because of the papers that you have to buy, also, like here, a little window, a wooden base, and a ton of embellishment that I would like to put on top. So I always try to make my products as cheap as possible, because I realize that the paper or the stamp is just the base and you still have to buy a lot of stuff. And as a crafter myself, I know how those spendings grows just immediately as you arrive in the shop.
Yeah, but
Mm,
the
side.
the theme and the colors and the shapes and the sizes really will fit, you know, because God knows how much stuff we have in our drawers right now. Everybody has stuff in their drawers. They're like, what am I going to do with it? You know, and there's only so much that you can make in one collection, but you can fit this one to, let's say, Tim Holtz things, for example.
Yes, I
You know,
really love teen style, and it's similar. It's grungy, so it will fit beautiful.
right?
It will fit beautiful with Lady Vagabond
The Lady
items.
Vagabond. Yes,
Uh, I even
absolutely.
have one artwork that I combined two collections. One thing about the sheet that you are holding right now in your hand,
Hmm.
the idea behind it was you can cut out the frames only. If you're a card maker and you like to have that frame with flowers and sentiment, that really easy basic layout for the card that always works, you
Uh-huh.
can pick out only the frames. But if you are a person who likes to use images for layouts, for example, and you don't have the fancy pictures that you can use, then here they go. I provide the fancy pictures in the frame already.
Right.
So if you don't have the old photos, you can use mine.
You know, when I, as a paper jewelry maker, like I make jewelry also, you can totally take this one, cut it out, put it in a basil, and
I
uh,
think
add
that
some resin on it, and you have a beautiful pendant.
the circular elements that you have in the collection, they fit under the standard cabochon for medium and big
Mhm.
pendant, because those are the ones that I use as well. So I kept that on mind.
I think that's really cute. And these here.
Um, Artisan says that I don't know this was possible. One that to make a half-hour project. Yes, it is possible. In half hour, I can set up myself to make a project. Then the next day, my half of hour will be putting stuff on it. Uh, and
Yeah.
I felt that I have such a unique style and brilliant mind, and I think that she's giving me too much credit because I still learn, and I absolutely love the option of having Lady Vagabond brain to pick up in the moment when I'm stuck. You know,
That's
when I grow up, I want to be like Bella. I want to have this amount of passion and this amount of knowledge because she knows everything, and if she doesn't know something, she will get to know everything about stuff. Uh,
it's wonderful that you can collaborate. And we're on to just the single pages. So you're able to buy a single sheet from the collection. It's the same as what they
yes.
come in the pack. There are six of them. I'm sorry, five of them. One, two, three, four, five of these. And we have one of each of what we saw, the elements. Okay, so these are the single sheets. It's exactly the same as the sheets in the pack. So if let's say you're doing a project, I'm like, I did one page and I want another one.
Okay.
Also have here rice paper. Let's go to the rice paper. And the rice paper come in A4 size.
Yes, and that's the rice paper with the fiber in it, because you have couple kinds of rice papers in general. Some of them are Lady V have those that they don't have that visible fiber in them.
Mhm.
Mine has the fiber, but it's visible only before you use it. When you use it, it gets melted down with everything.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was my marker shelf just collapsed.
So we have four different rice papers. This is number three, and this is number four. Let me show that. And this one is number two.
I absolutely love them, and that's the first time ever when I really, really like completely love my own design. And the rice papers were the first thing that I grabbed when I started to work with the collection.
Mhm.
I had the pictures, but of course I forgot to send you, so I will have to bring my first creation that I still use. So don't be too judgy because it got tardy.
Okay, we will not. We will not. So we have those here. And another item that we have in the collection is the watercolor page. And I've never seen that before. So it's actually the paper itself is for watercolor.
Yeah.
And the print on it is black and white so that you can add your own colors and paint it. And I think that's also very clever.
It took me a couple months to convince company that it's a good idea to have something like that because they couldn't wrap their head around why I want a plain paper. And the reason is that I realized that my collection is not for everyone. That
Mhm.
there will be people who don't like the colors, for example, but
Yes.
they will still maybe like the motifs because those are numbers, some floral pop, a very universal motif. So
Right.
let's offer the watercolor paper so everyone can make the background like they would like to.
I think that is a fantastic idea. I've never seen it, and I'm definitely going to try one of those. It's really, really fun.
So here comes my first creation. It doesn't fit in the frame. It's a backpack because when the papers arrived, I was like, I want to wear those papers. I want to wear it. And the
Let's
only way
see.
to wear it was to add it to something. So I did embellish my backpack. It started to get tarnished here and there because I use it all the time. I was wearing that backpack all the
Look at
time.
that.
Will start to rip off here and there because I'm not a decoupage expert by any means, but it looked, really cool with the top and the bottom part done with the paper, and it worked quite well. I also have a really cool project with the watercolor. Just give me a second because it's stand on my stand. This one is made by my secret helper, and it's
Oh, wow. Olga, I love that one.
everyone who knows who my helper might be, they will. I mean, it's for me it's quite obvious who made the page. I really love it. I have it displayed on top of my shelf above my desk, and there is a super cool element here. Can you
Mhm.
see it? It
Yes,
shakes.
it's a shaker. Oh,
It's
oh
a
my
shaker
God.
with the sparkle. Okay, now it catches. So
Yes.
above my desk, when I have my studio lights on, I have that piece that sparkles to me
Mhm.
from that little sparkle all the time, and it's just such a
It's
joy.
gorgeous.
And this one is, with the browns and the green patina here on the flowers.
Mhm.
I absolutely love that area. Some gears.
It's
It's
so beautiful.
it's a layout, but you can just use it as the picture because
Yeah.
there's no picture on it. So it's very universal layout and just a really cool idea to use the paper. And my make with the paper was, of course, a purple page
It's
with
so
my son
cool.
picture on it. That is my little monster.
It's a Halloween picture.
That was Halloween, I think, 4 years ago. We were all skeletons back then, and uh, I really, really adore that picture of him. I
Wow.
think it's purple, and most of the embellishments are made from the collection. So I put the cabochon or the glaze on top of the elements,
Uh-huh.
and that sentiment always is a title of the whole page. I don't think that I posted the picture of the page somewhere, anywhere. I just have it.
Oh, it should be. It's beautiful. That came out really pretty.
But I forget about posting. So we also
Very
have.
pretty. Well, Creative Treasures have the pleasure of showing it for the first time then. It's beautiful.
My helper made me this one. It's a box with the train coming from the tunnel, and it's very dimensional.
Look at that.
For most of the time, it's standing on my shelf and just looking at me. The train is just
Yeah,
coming
it's a
all the time.
multi-dimensional 3D. Beautiful.
And when I took that idea, I asked for the permission. I got the permission to use the idea. And during one of the live streams, I made this one. It's also with
Mhm.
the train. I just went ahead and I used the pussycat elements
Okay.
and
So it's all
and
3D in there.
and some embossing. It's not as striking as this one, but I think that I still did a decent job.
Yes, very beautiful. You know that you can take that idea and do different things with it. It's beautiful.
I have this house that I started. I never finished it. There is a birdie in the window, and it's still waiting on my shelf. It's waiting for the moment when the inspiration strikes. It might be, a craft along stream that I will finish it. It might be not. We will see. My very, very favorites are my boxes. They are also a little bit tarnished already because I use them. I will show you. Can I show you what I keep in them? Yes. So they store all
Oh,
my messy mess that was usually on my desk. And those are boxes that I store one on top of the other. And
okay.
this one is just paper and a little bit of ink and the pulley to open it up. I had to
Oh,
remove the legs because it didn't fit in the calyx when I stored them with the legs, so I just ripped them off. But I still like that make, and I covered it with all the positive sentiments from the collection to encourage myself to grab stuff and to do something with them.
I like that a lot. I really do.
And second box is with your favorite window.
Oh,
I just fussy cut it
look at
and
that. I love that.
lined it up. And here you can see I used the pipes from Lady V,
From the
from the
Lady
first Lady V,
Vagabond. Yes.
to create that water pipeline here.
Mhm.
And of course, I made sure that you can open it. So
Yeah,
when it's closed, you would not say that it's a box. It looks like a picture
right.
on my shelf because you can see only this part. So it looks like I have a picture, but the picture, of course, have a hidden a secret
Oh,
inside. It's more of the junk that usually is just laying on the desk.
everybody loves the boxes. And Artie Sam says, "Oh my God, I need the boxes now too." Basically, she needs everything.
Yeah, the boxes are I or something like that. But yeah, that is those are basically all my creations with the collection because I did all the samples. I sent some of them to the company, and then
Right.
I put it away. And,
Oh,
now, when you said that it's available in your store, I'm kind of excited. I'm like, yeah,
oh.
it has been, it has been laying in my drawer for long enough for me to kind of forget a little bit about the collection. So now I'm
Yes.
excited again about making something with it.
That's
So
good. I think that what maybe what I would like to do, if it's okay with you, is I will post on our website a link where people can maybe register for a class with you, and we'll do a make together uh,
sure, that
in
would
the
be.
upcoming couple weeks, maybe.
Yeah, so just enough time for those of your customers who are interested to have the stuff arriving in their home, and then we can
Okay.
just and make a chilled, long, crafty session, chit chat, and make some projects. And I found lately that I really like that style to follow as the maker. I like
Mhm.
to turn on the live stream and to know that everyone over there are basically in the same space that I am. They sit in at their desk with the supplies handy, and
Yes.
we are all sitting and making
We're
the
sitting
project.
making a project together. That sounds like a lot of fun, and I think I'll be privileged to take a class with you because you're my idol. So, and I think that will be wonderful. I'll be participating for sure. Um, so yeah, let's plan something like that. I will put the notices once we pick a suitable time. We don't have to pick a time right now. We can just put it out there, allow people, like you said, the time to get the collections into their home,
Because
And
I know that your shipping is quite fast, but before everyone will watch the video, will go make the purchase. It can take some time. Next week I'm teaching in person classes,
right.
but after that I don't have
Yeah.
actually any plans, so we can arrange something.
Okay, so it will probably be one on a weekend because people work. So on the weekend they have the time to sit and do something. So I, if you're not sure exactly the day, just know that we'll do it on the weekend. All right, sounds wonderful. I'm very excited. I'm super
Okay.
excited about this. I want to show you. We haven't shown two things. Is the die cuts we
Ooh,
have?
okay, let me dive into my mystery box that I have some elements prepped because when I was doing a reveal stream, I prepped some stuff to demonstrate, and I still have them prepped. That's
Mm-hmm.
another lesson that I learned from Bella, to have elements ready to go to demonstrate.
Yes.
Like the frame from the collection, I have it just, it's just a frame that it's cut out. I stick some watercolor paper underneath and a lot of chipboard, so it's very dimensional.
Yeah.
It's easy to demonstrate how, without any fancy embellishments, if you, for example, are just a beginner, how easy is to make something, because you can take any random, let's take any random page. And of course, I randomly picked the one that was on the top. So I
Yeah.
used my favorite one. So now we have this one. And you just add your elements. You can add your frame. Inside, you can put your picture. You can add some.
Yeah. Fussy cut element.
You
Mm-hmm.
already have the base for really, really, really good artwork, because you can just add a little bit of paint here and there and have 30 minutes artwork ready to go.
Yes.
Okay, and I have the die cuts as well. Okay. Oops, I just broke something. It's happening all the time here because my space is quite small, and I use all those stuff, in my setup. So all
Yeah.
the frames, I dismounted my displays that are around me here in the space, to pick up all those makes from the shelf, to show them.
Yeah.
Because when I will show you my setup, then it's hard to see a single artwork because they are just bulked up on the shelves,
Right. This is so cute. It's very pretty. I think you give us a lot of ideas and definitely creative inspiration for things to make with it. If anybody would like to share after you get it, um, and you post it on our page, it will be wonderful. If you can tag
If
us or on
if
Instagram.
you make anything and you want to share it, please tag me. I love to see others people make with my creations, and it always gave me some ideas what I can do next. And watching others people creations always sparks the ideas for future, designs for me, because sometimes uh,
Yeah,
one make from someone can take me as far as coming up with the concept for entire line,
yeah.
just because of one concept.
Terry's asking, she says she can't see the die cuts in the store. I did not put them on the
Yeah,
website yet because I just received the things yesterday and it was a rush thing. So it's still work in progress,
yeah.
but we'll
Basically,
put it
someone
up
was
for you, Terry.
forced to put the papers on the website already.
Yes. I
So
those. And like I said, I'm missing one box, so I don't remember what's in the other box, to be honest. I don't remember what I ordered and what I didn't order. If I if you want something and I don't have it, let me know that you want it, and I'm gonna do another order soon and bring all the things in. So this was just the first run.
But you did order the dies. My dies are in the envelopes like that, without
Mhm.
any paper. But they come when you purchase them. They come in a nicely packed. Wait,
Yeah, here I'm showing with the package. I'm showing it with the package.
yes, in the packet you have them really nicely arranged.
Mhm.
I went ahead and just make all the die cuts so I can demonstrate how they look. The clock, it was a struggle because it's quite detailed,
Mhm.
and it cut out the clock face, the
Yeah.
shadow, and two sets of different handles. One of them are a little bit more. Come on, come here. All the
Yeah,
handles.
this is the smaller one and the longer one.
Yeah, they are all quite fancy because I like my clock handles to be fancy, because that's how they should look. They should be fancy and ornamental.
Ornamental, yes.
Yeah. So we have two different sets of
Okay.
hands to that clock, and the dice are not extremely pricey, and they cut out really nicely.
Cool.
I don't have any special skill. I don't have any special plate. I just use my big shot like it is until my plates will crack. I will use the same plates. So the dice to work for me, they have to be really easy to use, very very sharp, and cut out things
Mhm.
really nicely. I usually also cut more than one sheet of paper at the same time, just to save myself time.
Right.
And you will be also left over with the small circle that fits one
Yeah,
of the
the center
elements.
of the clock, yes.
Yeah. And we also have frames. I'm not sure if you have frames or not. If you don't have them, that means that they will happen later on with the possible restock.
Mm-hmm.
And with frames,
I did bring a couple, yes.
yes. So with the frames, I really wanted to have two dies, to have the one that will die cut the shadow. Because every time when I would like to use the die cut like this one,
Mm-hmm.
when you cut it, that's the thick cardstock. That's the cardstock with the same heaviness as the line. So it's 250, but it's quite delicate. And when you try to put it, especially if you want to make it on the distance, like the decorative element, it will break. So either you can glue a couple of them together, that takes a precision and a lot of nerves. But if you want to put them in the dimensional way, it's cool to have that drop shadow that you can add them to, because it will
Right,
create your own little embellishment.
right. So,
Okay, so here I have two contrasting colors, and you also get the die that cuts out the inside. I don't think it's very useful to
mm-hmm.
have that apple. In that case, it's just the apple that somebody bites to already.
Well,
But
you can actually, if you're doing the three-dimensional, you put it in the back as the base, and you cut out,
in
if
case that
you want to cut
you,
out a picture, if you're doing like a scrapbooking page, you cut out the picture in that shape.
yeah, because in case you messed up something like a stamping in the background, you can just pop it inside the frame and
Right.
cover it up. So one is both of the shapes. I took the outlines from European herbs, not herbs. Oh my God, emblems.
Emblem, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you were born in very posh family that have
Yes.
very well-known name, they will have their
Their own
symbol.
emblem, yeah.
Yeah. So from the vintage emblems, I pulled off shapes. and one is like the heart, and second one is like a shield
Okay.
with a lot of fancy doodles here and there.
That's
And they both
beautiful.
come with that shape that you can cut out and have it as a base of your design. And
Yes.
I think that they will look very very nice on, for example, wedding cards, invitations, or something like that, because of those swirly elements, and
Yeah.
they are big enough for you to add the sentiment inside.
Looks very fancy. And I think these might have been sold out, and I'm waiting for them to get back in. Well, I don't have them yet in stock, but I will. I'm writing everything down that I need to order.
They might be, they might be sold out. I'm not sure, because I did that because that was the thing that I had to do. When you are a designer, you are not always allowed to do just what you want. But
Right.
sometimes, like in case of crafting, each collection have to have the dice and the stamps that goes with it. And
Mm-hmm.
now it also have to have that watercolor and rice paper. I forced them to start making
I
that.
think it's a good thing that you did because it's a wonderful product.
And
So
it's good to have the variety of
yeah, right. That's true. Okay. I think we're
beautiful heart
perfect.
shaped strawberry. See, I said that it's a apple, and Jess says that it's
It looks
strawberry.
like a strawberry.
I think that her guess is better than mine. I will go with the strawberry from now on.
Okay. All right. So I think we're done. We're showing everything. I would like to thank you so much for being here and
Well, it's
introducing
a
your
pleasure.
collection.
I'm super happy that you made a bold move of bringing the collection to USA, because there was a lot of questions, especially when it came out. I
Hmm.
had a lot of questions. I was sending everyone to the website to check stuff, because again, as the designer, I don't have too much to say in some of the areas, but I'm super happy that you bring my stuff to
I brought it because people were looking for it.
yes. So
People
now
were looking,
now
well,
it's
do you have it? Do you have it? And I said, I don't have it, but I can get it. And, I just I'm very happy to have it here because it's just beautiful. And you know me, I like to carry things that I love in my store. If there's something that I don't like, I don't keep because, I assume that people will love the same thing that I do. And I like to keep quality things and I like to keep, designer paper. And this answers all three. It's something that I love, it's quality, and it's designer paper.
So
So
I'm so happy that they are available, and I'm really excited for the play date with the collection, because there is so many things and so many options. So we will establish something and close
okay.
the date. I will send the pictures and the preps. How did I prepare my station for the craft along? So then everyone can do a little bit, day by day. Fuzzy cut this, prepare that, and then we are set up to go.
I think it's a fantastic idea. So we'll be in touch about that. And you can all catch up. Uh, I don't know if you're doing the live hop, but we do live hops sometimes together.
Mhm.
And would you like to share with everybody your social media so that they can follow you?
I'm everywhere as Olga Heldwein. It's my name and surname, and if you type it into any browser, I'm like that on Facebook, I'm like that on Patreon, I'm like that on Instagram. Everywhere you just type my name and surname, even if you misspell my surname, it
Uh-huh.
will still up. And I'm the only Olga Heldwein on entire word, so there will be no mistake.
I was looking to see where I put the first page of the collection because I wanted to show it again, but I can't find it. That's why you see me turning around. I'm like, I don't know where I put it, but it's somewhere here.
I think
Um,
you put it between the papers because when you were grabbing them from the table, you just like made
oh,
the.
here it is. Yeah, it's over here. It was just hiding. This is it. So this is the collection. If you have any questions, please contact me or contact Olga. We'll be happy to answer. On creative-treasures.com, you have my email there on the bottom. Send us an email or put a message on YouTube in the comments, and we'll be happy to contact you and answer all the questions.
Yeah,
Okay.
so thank you for having me. It was very much fun, and I'm really happy. And I see in the comments that everyone thank you guys for fabulous live, and thanks Tamar for purchasing gorgeous collection. Thank you both. I love this collection. You have done a super
Um,
job. Thanks, Tamar, for a lovely presentation.
and
And that comment is from Crafty Mom. Thank you, Crafty Mom.
thank you, everybody. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate your sharing, and we'll do it in a couple of weeks again. We'll do a
Yeah,
project,
and it will be fun. And I think that my collection goes really well with
Lady
mm,
Vagabond.
Lady V. I really like it because I like them both, and I like the fact that I can combine them. That wasn't intentionally for them to go so well together, but because Belinda surprised me with the purple paper in her line. I know it wasn't personally for me, but because I love the purple, I feel like she did it especially for me, and maybe a little bit
Probably.
for Carmen as well.
Yeah, and we actually did the presentation from of
Yes,
Lady
I know.
Vagabond last weekend, so you can still catch it on my YouTube and see that.
And I think it's very cool that you can offer bringing designers and that info behind the scenes for your customers. And I'm super happy to be here. And I really love to watch you and Bella. And I never I never tired to listen about the way that your brains are working because it's different to mine. And even if I had some stories, every time there is a little secret that I didn't know and a little thing that I get to know. And you never know what will spark your creativity.
That's true. And when you know what's behind working on a collection like that, I mean, it's like writing a book. It takes a year and a half or more to come up with something like that. And I think people
But
will appreciate that, when they purchase a paper pack, they know what
sometimes
goes in it.
it happens just like that, but
Hmm.
sometimes it takes so much to make the design happen. And I'm usually more excited about the ones that I had to fought for, because if I want to fight for some idea, that means I really like that idea. I'm really passionate about it. And that's how I know that something will be by me seeing, I will see my design as a successful when I really go to the stage when I'm fighting about every single little thing, because then I know that I'm passionate about it. And when the designs I submit and they just go, and or when there are changes and I'm like, yeah, I can change that, and I don't feel that something is interrupted, then I know that it's not bad design, but it's just one of those things that, yeah, okay, it's still good, but with with the designer line,
I know we're
usually
excited now to see your next one. Oh, hopefully you will have another one for next year.
yeah, hopefully I will. For now, I have couple concepts, but nothing came to me yet. So But if it will, this time probably I will also record part of the process so everyone can see how much goes into
Oh, that's
everything.
a wonderful idea. I like that idea very much. That is that sounds really fascinating.
Oh, and Bella says that it's fun. That was so fun, and that's great to hear what you had in mind as I worked.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, everybody. And thanks again, Olga, for being here. And we'll see you again pretty soon.
Yeah, and
Thanks for
big
watching.
community pressures for all the good stuff because Tamar is bringing absolutely all the good stuff to
Yeah,
US.
try. Bye.